XRP market shows signs of capitulation as holders sell at a loss. Let me know if you guys are selling your bags of XRP or are you guys loading up, okay? Very important time. Don't get left behind. Moving on. A Bitcoin DeFi project just shut down with a brutal post. So basically this DeFi program shut down. We're going to cover that in a second. And also, Bitcoin trims losses after core CPI rises less than 0.2% in May. But they're not counting food and energy, and we know what's happening with oil right now. All that coming up next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Louis and this is Real Productions. But if it's your first time, make sure you like, subscribe, and you also share it with other people who enjoy this content. Basically, what we do here is cover crypto news, blockchain, and anything to do with the financial infrastructure of the world, and also the major paradigm shifts that are happening right below our feet as they redo the plumbing. So let's check out this market really quick. The total crypto market is sitting at 2.12. That's pennies when we're talking about the world of finance. Fear and greed is sitting at 14.15. As you guys can see on this chart, people are still at the low levels. This is when this spikes, as you guys can see here. When people are too fearful, these big players and people who know how to read markets come in and push this, as you can see each time. All right, so the first article I have for you guys today is, I think this is great news, but World Series Poker adds Solana payments for tournament buy-ins. And this is what I've always told you guys here. Always do your own research, okay? Some of these coins are going to be working with people. There's not going to be one coin that gets all the money. As you can see here, Solana, if you look up Solana and do your research, then you understand what Solana is, what they do, and how they can help be intertwined with the world. And as we can see here in this article, the World Series Poker, you know what I mean? Let's just read the article so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The World Series of Poker is introducing Solana-powered crypto payments, allowing players to buy into tournaments with digital assets through MoonPay, starting at this year's WSOP in Las Vegas. And we've covered before on this channel how Vegas is trying to shut down Kelshi and Polymarket and stuff like that because they have their own betting things there. You know what I mean? So they don't need these digital betting institutions coming in to Vegas and taking over what they already make money off of. Basically, the rollout will expand to the WSOP Paradise in the Bahamas this December, where winners can opt to receive payments in Solana-based stablecoins, bringing blockchain payments to one of the world's largest poker events. So as you guys can see, all this is moving ahead, slow but steady. If you're a poker player and you have cash on hand, you might not even be aware of what you can do with Solana and get into the game. But if you're someone who's been playing poker online and been part of that digital space, then you could use your own money to get into these games. Now, I just think this is a push in the right direction. Remember, look up these projects, okay, like Solana, and understand who they're working with and the partners. If you love poker, this would be something to pay attention to in the future, okay? All right. Bitcoin trims losses after core CPI rises less than feared, 0.2 in May. I'm not going to cover this too much. If you guys care about the data, the links will be down below. You guys can cover it. But basically, the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates at 350 to 375 BPS. But what's crazy about this data is that most of the time, it usually happens like this, but it cuts out the food and energy cost. And I just don't understand that, because when we talk about energy, we're talking about oil, solar, you know, all this. And oil right now is having a major influx up and down and just so much going on. So it's like, I think that this is way off because they are not, you know, introducing these numbers into it. But, you know, I'm not a professional. Make sure you guys always do your own research. Look at this, use ChatGPT, ask it what it means. Always do your own research, okay? Moving on. So basically, a Bitcoin DeFi project just shut down with a brutal post-mortem. So users basically didn't care about this new, was it layer 1, I believe? Layer 2, right here. So they just shut down. Bitcoin Layer-2 network, Botanix, I think that's how it's said, is being wound down a year after its mainnet went live. So I don't know exactly what's happening with this, but just pay attention when you're involved with some of these programs, when you're involved with some of these exchanges or whatever they might be, layer 1, layer 2s, you know what I mean, layer 3s if they're out there. I believe they are. But for me, it's being aware of the project and understanding the safety of how it sits on these layers on the blockchain. You know what I mean? So just be aware. I wasn't involved with this one, but I'm just saying there's a lot of these projects, there's a lot of these exchanges out there. Regulation is coming. If you're using an exchange that is not under proper regulation, then you could lose your money. Okay, so just be aware of that. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Remember, look for a personal crypto wallet. And for those who don't know what a personal crypto wallet is, I would suggest going onto YouTube and looking it up if you're getting into crypto. Okay, moving on. Japan's 3 largest banks aim for a joint stablecoin issue by March. So articles will be down below always. I just want us to see this and understand that, you know, America, we have our problems with regulation. We have our problem with the Genius Act and the Stablecoin Act and all this stuff. My point is we're moving ahead. We're moving forward. And basically a major thing right here. Okay, so Japanese Financial Services Agency. Oh, sorry, it's right below it. Stablecoins are digital tokens pegged to the value of traditional finance assets. So let me read that again for those who don't understand what that just said. Stablecoins are digital tokens pegged to the value of traditional finance assets. So that means they are hard assets like a house, a car, anything. And what I love about this is, okay, you could see the depreciation of your asset live. I like to look at the housing market and stuff. The other day I looked at a house out in like Beverly Hills. This house was worth like 20 million back in 2008. Looked at it again. It's worth like 7 million now. That is crazy for the person who bought that. But my point being is there are opportunities in this market right now. So think about it. Before the financial crash, 2008, 2009, 2007, because it actually goes a little further back, that house was worth 20 million. But basically, stable coins are going to be pegged to these real world assets like a car, art, finance, but usually a fiat currency, okay? The market is overwhelmingly dominated by US dollar tokens, which is Tether, USDT, and Circle's Internet's CRCL, USDC, alone accounting for 84% of the market share. So right now, the stablecoin market is being dominated by the US market. So Japan and the rest of these people are starting to make their own stable coins, get in the game. And as you can see here, these are 3 huge banks and probably more that are going to be establishing their own stable coin and issuance. And the thing about it is, it's like, this is a very, very sketchy landscape, and it's like you have to build the foundation correctly or the whole thing's gonna crumble. And that's why it's taking so long. When you go back and you're a holder of this and you sit here, some people have been invested for years, 15 years. I'm not saying they were invested in Bitcoin, but there's other things out there that they were invested in and still invested in, to the point where it's like, okay, this new financial structure is still a baby. It's in its infant stages, so we have to be patient. You know what I mean? We can't wish for the happy life without putting in the work and waiting and learning how to manage our funds and money. All right, on to some juicy news. XRP market shows signs of capitulation as holders sell at a loss. Are you guys selling at a loss? Let me know. I'm not. I'm bagging up. Okay, not financial advice, but XRP is trading around 111, down nearly 40% for the year, and far below its July peak of $3.60, suggesting that the token's bear market may be in the late stages. So let's go down to this stat right here. Okay, the ratio marks a sharp reversal from the 2025 peak when profit takers outnumbered loss sellers by 50-1, and is widely seen as a classic sign of market capitulation. So follow what the big people are doing. There's no point of selling at a loss unless you have to pay some bills or whatnot, but there is no point of selling at a loss. Okay, so if you guys see, go ahead, look at this chart, look at how, you know, this is basically the realized profit to loss ratio, 90-day moving average. So you can see here, Some people were smart, took some profit, people didn't, and it came way back down here. Now you're sitting low if you're like bought a. So these are good metrics and things to pay attention to. Like we covered on Monday, there was that chart that actually looks at Bitcoin in the same way. So there's a lot of information out there, you guys. Remember, information is never held in isolation. The only way you don't know something is if you tell yourself you don't know something. Understand, if you think you can learn it and understand it, then you will. If you think you can't, then you won't. It's all up to you. Okay, article is down below. All right, SpaceX. So we covered this the other day, Monday, like I told you guys, right here. All right, and if you scroll down, you can see all the articles are down below. But basically, this was the article here. Bybit challenges Wall Street with a massive push to tokenize. I believe this one is it. Oh yeah, this one is it. But basically, they were offering the IPO for SpaceX, and it's still open now. So you guys, so it started on the 7th, and we cover that. With allocation and spot trading, token begins on June 11 and 12 for people who are public. And that's basically what this article is speaking about here. Elon Musk SpaceX IPO is 4 times oversubscribed. A crypto bet tells a more cautious story. So remember, this is going to be opening, or I think it's already open. I haven't looked at it. I'm not even gonna try to buy $135 worth of stock right now. Maybe in the future. I got to see what happens with this. This is it, because this is just some crazy stuff right here. You're talking about $1 trillion man, $1 trillion company, first time in history. Like, I just don't know. They have the data. They have the potential to do this correctly, but we'll see. I don't know. Into the void, I guess. A 5x leveraged perpetual contract on hyperliquid trading under the ticker SPCX has become the main venue for price discovery ahead of SpaceX IPO and has fallen about 27% in its mid-May launch. Okay, so just pay attention to what's happening with SpaceX, but basically you can go look this up if you want. You can invest in them. Up to you. Remember, always doing your own research, not financial advice. But you know, if you want to dip and dab in this, I think this would be a healthy investment if you have the money to like put some bread there. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket. But a widely tracked 5x levered perpetual future contract on Hyperliquid has declined for 3 consecutive weeks. The product ticker SPCX traded near 157 on Wednesday, down 27% from its mid-May launch price of around 216 after briefly trading as high as 230. So that's a lot of inflection. This is like Bitcoin's movement. Like, but these are $50 moves, $100 moves. So it's like, just be aware. All right. Again, my name is Louis. If you guys enjoy the content, you know what to do. I'm out of here. Love y'all. Peace.